Hi, this is Neethu, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Application, Drsnsrcas College of WhatsApp. Throughout the video, we have to know about the operating systems in kernel. In operating systems, kernel are both a component of the operating system. The operating system is a computer hardware. It is basically managed operating a memory and the CPU time. It is a core component of operating system. Kernel acts as a bridge between an application and the data processing performed at the hardware level using inter-process communication and the cell phone. This is the common model of kernel. First layer is a software layer that is also called as a user level application. And the next point is in the CPU, kernel is a security of the CPU. It is called a security. First one, the kernel will allow the processor to work the processing work and the memory to work a memory location and allocate the memory location, disk where the process and where the program is scheduled in the scheduled to read or write in the program. And the fourth one is the devices where to allocate and where to run. That is, all the control is under the kernel. The types of kernels. The more types in kernels, we have to learn about what is monolithic, micro, and hybrid, nano, and exokernel. Monolithic kernel. It is one of the type of kernel where all operating services operating in a kernel space. It has dependency between a system components. It has huge line of code which is complex. The example of monolithic kernel like Unix, Linux, OpenVMS, virtual machine. Unix is already we have worked in our laboratory, and Linux also the current trending one, and the open virtual machine also we are day by day we are learn about this. Microkernel. It is a kernel type which has minimalized approach. It has virtual memory and thread scheduling. It is more stable with less services in the kernel space. It puts rest in user space. It is user in a small OS. Mac, not a Mac, the Match, and the L4 Amigo OS Linux. It is a long ago, like 90s and 80s type of the kernels are used in the microkernels. And the hybrid kernel. Nowadays and the other futures, we have used this hybrid kernel. It is a combination of both monolithic kernel and the microkernel. It's the speed and design of monolithic kernel and moderative and stability of microkernel. The example of a hybrid kernel is Windows NT and the next way. The next one is exokernel. It is a type of kernel which follow end-to-end principle. It has fewest hardware appreciation as a possible. It allocate a physical resource to an application. The example AXO. And the nano kernel. We also know what is nano. It is a small, a very small type of things we are called the nano. The same type, the operating system is very small, but the work was very high. High performance. It is type of kernel that offer a order abstraction, but without system service. Microkernel also does not have system service. Therefore, a microkernel and the nano kernel have become analogous. The full form of EROS is extremely reliable operating system. And we are done the kernel session, and we have to move the system calls. When the system once called an operating system, where how do they run, they execute, they allocate the space, memory allocation. So we have to know the next slides. System methods interact with the operating system through a program. A system calls a request from computer software to an operating system